It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and comics from all over. We never learn to put the toilet seat down, and this is because we never learn a damn thing. Guys, I have not been paid yet. Guys, damn it. The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyacomedy and Nagoyacomedy.
And welcome again to Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. Our co-host Mike Miller will be joining us in a second. He's kind of busy right now. Yeah, so Talk Funny is basically describing the plight and the adventures of comedians who, for whatever reason, ended up in Japan. And we hope in the future to have some really cool guests, not just comedians that are in Japan. So yeah, Nagoyacomedy, we are a comedy troupe, and we try to play a show about once a month in either Gifu, Toyohashi, sometimes occasionally Fukuoka or some other city, and mostly Nagoya. We hope to kind of rehash some of our funnier stories, and we hope you enjoy it. In the future, we will have an email address. The one I gave out earlier is just easy for me to filter out spam, and that's you can ask us questions or requests, and we will probably officially have another email address later. For now, it's askportjapan@yahoo.com. You know, you have to be somebody special to get a yahoo.com account, and I know the right people, so at yahoo.com, that's a good place. You can ask us questions. You can make requests. If something isn't clear, too many inside jokes or something, let us know. We'll explain some of these. While Mike is getting ready, I wanted to mention you will find these. You found these podcasts on SoundCloud or another venue, but SoundCloud is a really good venue for us because for me, I'm getting older and it's easy for me to upload these. I did, of course, for Nagoyaradio.com. We did a show called Radio Talk, and it's easy to find some of these sounders. Some of these sounds that I play are from that show. One of my employers at a university, which will remain nameless, I was talking to him at the job interview. We're ready, we'll pot you up. And I was talking to him at the job interview. Here's Mike Miller.
Hello.
And he goes, yeah, back when I heard your show, Radio Talk, and I know you got your own station, Nagoyaradio.com, and, I used to listen to you at Radio I, and basically he said, I auditioned there too, and but they just didn't pay what I wanted to pay. And I said, really? Because they paid really well. No, what they were offering me wasn't, I said no. And I said, well, wait, so there's an audition, right? You took the audition. Yeah. And they called you? Well, I called them. Yeah, you called them, and they said, we'll call you, right? And he goes, well, yeah, eventually we did talk, and then I said, no, it's not enough money. And I said, well, that's weird, because they don't offer a salary. They don't talk about the money. I said, what happened after that? He goes, well, I told them no. And I said, well, who did you tell no? Because they don't tell you the salary. What happens is you get a housewife called a manager or a production company head, and she will call you after Radio I says, we want him. He passed the audition, we want him. And Radio I is paying your agent a certain amount of money. You will never know what that amount is. I didn't know until I went to court. You will never know what that amount is. And then your agent will pay you a fraction of that, or part of that. She'll take her 25% or her 50% or her 60% or her 10%, and you will never know what percent that is. And then she will offer you something. Even if she took half of it away, it's a pretty good deal, actually. I think the pay was they paid too much, in my opinion. And he goes,
you should never say that to your boss.
Yeah, I didn't, but, but he goes, so basically what he was saying was, well, Mike, congratulations on winning the marathon. I was if I had run, I would have won. But but I decided, I didn't like the time that they had it, And well, did you qualify for the pre-race? No, I just decided, oh, so you didn't qualify for the pre-race. Yeah, but if I did, I would have been faster than you. So basically, Mike, whatever accomplishment you have, screw you, right? That's what he was telling me. I said, okay, can I sign for the job first, and then we'll discuss it before I call you some names I may regret. So how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well. I just finished. I was putting on my makeup there. Got to get nice and look nice for the podcast. No, I was just eating an onigiri. I thought you were hanging out with a jingle girl. Well, we were talking a little bit outside. And,
she's getting kind of weird.
She seems to be a little bit aggravated about something. Have you been putting the toilet seat down in the bathroom here? What's going on?
Oh, we have a toilet here? I can't find it. It's that's where the rats hang out. Yeah.
I think those are roaches, but they are pretty big.
Well, they used to be roaches. Yeah. Who knows what evolution has in mind for this studio?
Anyone who's not lived in Japan, you have to understand how big the roaches are here. They are huge.
Well, another thing is about Nagoya. right now, of course, it's a very, very humid place. The heat is just obnoxious. It's just horrible. And apparently, cockroaches love that weather, right?
They do.
You never see, how many cockroaches do you see in Sweden in winter, right? They love it, And so do my students. I mean, they're always turning the air conditioner off. I'm like, fully human.
What? Why are they turning it off? I thought they were always turning it on.
The girls are always sitting under the vent going, I'm cold. Maybe put some clothes on and not sit under the vent. I'm cold. Maybe eat a hamburger once in your life. I'm cold. Well, I'm hot.
Gain some body fat.
I'm overweight here. Look at me. Hey, I'm sweating over here. Yeah. So So basically, the moral of that story about the guy going, he could have said, hey, I was a big fan. I listened to you for 10 years. Good job. I always enjoyed listening to you. That's what I would say if I'm, when I meet Gil Gottfried or somebody, I don't say like, if I hadn't left and come to Japan, I would have probably had that Aflac commercial, gig. I don't say that, but it's like you have to put somebody down. That's kind of something I notice a lot of foreigners tend to do. It's something people that are insecure be like, hey, Mike, that's really cool, that nice car that you got. I was going to get a car. The one I was going to get is better than the one you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the coulda and the shoulda, woulda.
There's a lot of that going
Get
around.
Back on your swing and leave me alone.
Epidemic of coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Get back on your Segway and leave me alone.
Exactly. Unlike Mark Bailey, who runs, 40 businesses now? I don't know. How do you keep track of them all?
And walks to work, by the way.
Walks to work. He's living a very frugal. He's like the... what's his name there in Omaha, the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett?
Oh, yeah, Warren Buffett.
He drives like a 20-year-old car, and he's worth like second richest man in the world or something.
And then Jimmy Buffett is also extremely rich. He's basically a billionaire.
Wow.
So what is in the Buffett water there?
I don't know.
And they're not even related. I think in the last show we were talking about our coming up show, which is in September at GC Live, so come see us. Tickets are 2,000 yen at the door. It's GC Live in Shinsekai, and if you go to our Nagoya Comedy Facebook page, you will see the information, the location information. You can get advance tickets by contacting us, askportjapan@yahoo.com, or you can comment. You can contact us at the Facebook Nagoya Comedy, no space, Nagoya Comedy, no space. Facebook page, 1,500 yen in advance, so that's a 500 yen discount. And either ticket, 2,000 or 1,500 yen, you get a free drink for that. And it's a really cool place, one of our favorite places to hang out when we do comedy. They basically let us do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We really like that.
Very free over there. And I think the weather has now, I'm not sure if we are now officially underwater.
Yeah.
It's coming down in sheets.
And this,
there.
So that's September 29th on a Friday, and starts later than our usual shows. It's 9 to 11 p.m. It's the late show. So I have a kind of a Larry David kind of situation I was going to talk about, but I need to take a cough if you want to say something, Mike.
Take a cough? Okay. He's got.
What I do is I want you to talk so they don't hear the cough.
All right. This is very, very high-tech studio we have here.
There we go.
There we go. We're back on the air.
We don't have a cough button. We have a cough room. So, okay. So something about me. I'm getting older, and I had bad ulcers. And when you get older, your ulcers and your acid reflux is so bad that you can't sleep at night. This is true. And you'll get like sleep apnea. It's a real big problem, and it just interferes with my work. So I had to get medicine, and I have to take this medicine every day. And they only give you 2 months worth at a time because they don't want you to get addicted to not having ulcers.
Exactly.
I'm addicted.
Exactly.
I'm used to not having ulcers. How can I ever live without that anymore? And apparently, I do have to take this almost for the rest of my life.
Do they give you powder?
It's a pill. It's a
pill. Okay, because in Japan they give you these weird powders a lot of the time.
Those don't work. Those actually give me more heartburn.
Yeah,
they have like salt in them.
I don't know. I don't. You go to for those of you who've never been to a doctor in Japan, you go to the doctor in Japan. He gives you like 20 different kinds of medicine. One's a powder. One's a pill. One's a you just cut your finger, and he's like you're lining up at the pharmacy with a basket to get all the pills.
Exactly. There were 2 baskets, and I was waiting behind this old man. When I got my medicine, he had 2 baskets, and the guy's explaining, this is aspirin. He's like, aspirin. He's writing it down. I'm like, couldn't you get that at the convenience store? Really? Here's some water. here's some tofu. Hey, how about just only handing out medicine, Grandpa? This is taking all day. So this is what happened. I have to go to a clinic. They're only open usually for 2 or 3 hours in the morning. And the one that I went to used to be open at night, and so I could go after work. But they changed their hours because it's basically an aesthetic clinic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's a whorehouse at night. I don't know what it is. They changed it.
Put the red lantern out?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's got all these beautiful girls going in, and they're getting, pimples removed and hair removal and stuff. But so it's like hair.
So you walk in, they're looking at you like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, hair removal / bleeding from the anus and mouth. If you have either of these problems, you can come here. Mine was the latter, Ulcers.
You paint such a beautiful picture.
Where do you get this? It's like, aesthetics, like, get a mole removed or get a lung transplant. And we do those two things. Could I get medicine for a cold? No. Lung transplant? If you come in with a cold, you're leaving with half a lung. That's what we're telling you. All right,
you just hope you don't get in, you don't get in for the wrong procedure.
Very inconvenient. I feel so pretty when I come out. What kind of medicine are you giving me? I don't know. So the point of the story is, it's very inconvenient for me, because they changed the hours. They're not open in the evening anymore. So I work, daytime, and I happen to be off today, so I could go in. I've been going without my meds for 3 weeks now, and it's really, really painful. So I couldn't, I have one more week of really hard deadlines, and I need to sleep at night. So that's the reason I'm not complaining. This is just important to the story. So I went in, and I'm waiting. I don't have a lot of time. We're doing this podcast later, and I have some errands I have to run. And I went in there like 9:30 when they opened. I realized after I was waiting about 2 hours that they were deliberately skipping me, because I started timing it. It's like everybody that was before me had already gone, and everybody that was after me had come and gone. And they were all going to the same doctor.
And you just need to get pills. You don't even need an exam, right?
Yeah,
you just need a signature.
And I'm looking at the front desk. What are you guys doing? What's going on? You see me? It's like, and so I moved like, so I'm sitting right in front of the front desk. So here I am. And in case you forgot, I've been here for an hour and a half, And then I could see them kind of, they see me, and I said, did you call my name? And they said, definitely not. No, we didn't call you. And I realized they're doing it on purpose, because she said, oh, I'm sorry. Is that inconvenient for you? And I said, I remember now last time I was here when I came in at night, and they're no longer doing that. And she goes, yeah, this is only for, aesthetics. Now, if you have something, for internal medicine. In Japan, something that the listeners need to know, in Japan, all medicine is divided into like internal medicine, kidney specialist, liver specialist.
Like a million different clinics.
Ear, nose, and throat. And yeah, there's all over the place. And they're open different hours, closed on different days. It's really confusing. And they're all little tiny little places full of old people and lots of waits. Yeah, and you can't make an appointment at this place. So when she said, oh, I'm sorry, is that inconvenient for you? And the other girl kind of laughed, and I realized they were doing it on purpose. And I realized the last time I was there, they said, well, it's only in mornings. And I said, well, I work for a living. That's kind of inconvenient. She's like, oh, shogunai. That's an expression when they say, well, there's really nothing we can do about it.
Maybe they were trying to get rid of you. That's why they switched the hours.
And I hadn't gone for a couple months because I went to this other place. But it's full of, last time I went to the other place, I got sick from all the kids coughing and stuff. It's horrible.
Yeah, you don't want to go to a place like
this
that.
This is like, you ever seen like the old trains where they take the Jews, to Dachau? It's like, na, dun, 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 dun. That looks better than these clinics. These clinics are worse than that. It's like
cattle car.
At least service. I got a shower. Jeez. By the way, I'm Jewish, so don't send your complaints to Mike Miller.
Anti-Defamation League. Before you send a nasty letter, be aware.
So we just played a couple of episodes ago why I like being a Jew. So I figured it out, and I was thinking, I could tell them I know what you're doing, and this is unforgivable. But I thought, this is not that hard for me to find this place. I like this place. And it's near the train station, so it's near my office, kind of. So I just let them, do that, and I was the last person. They closed shop at 12. I was the very last person. There must have been, and I started timing them. The average time, and here's a guy in a suit. Okay, guy in a suit. I'm timing all these statistics. I'm writing in my notebook. He's in, and 7 minutes later, he's out. He's done. I've been here for an hour and a half. I know. And then, okay, girl in a short dress. Okay, she's out in 3 minutes.
I can see you like Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman.
I've got to get out of here.
Man.
Wapner at 5:30. Wapner at 5:30. I definitely have to watch Wapner. Definitely 52 minutes I've been waiting. Definitely. And then the doctor said something like, "Sorry for the inconvenience." So I guess